Here's what's making news now around Indiana, brought to you by your Indiana Fever. Well, Alabama-based CNHI is looking to unload its newspaper properties, including 13 in Indiana. The move is the result of the company's parent, Raycom Media's announced a merger, a $3.6 billion merger with Atlanta-based Gray Television. Diversified Machine Bristol plans to close its Elkhart County facility. In a notice to the state, the company says the decision will result in the layoffs of about 95 employees over the next several months. A Tennessee-based medical device manufacturer broke ground on a new research and development facility in Columbia City. The Whitley County Economic Development Corporation says the $3 million investment from Wright Medical Group will create about 20 jobs. And Sellersburg-based Weber Group has acquired a Florida-based interactive play company. Financial terms of the deal for Design 2 Play not disclosed, but the deal will go through in the coming months. Well, Hoosier Hospitality Group, which owns 6 Ruth's Chris Steakhouse franchises in Indiana and St. Louis, has transitioned to new leadership. Ryan Rands is taking over for a longtime and well-known restaurateur Larry Griggers. And Ryan is here now to talk about his vision for a growing restaurant group and a new Ruth's Chris in downtown Fort Wayne. Ryan, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
We'll talk about your new position, you and your wife, in an ownership position in the restaurant group in a moment. But this new restaurant, new Ruth's Chris in downtown Fort Wayne. We took the show on the road to Fort Wayne a couple of months ago. There's a vibe and a vibrancy in Fort Wayne, and obviously that attracted you to put a restaurant there.
Fort Wayne has been just a dynamic market and so much going on downtown right now. We looked at how do we catalyze and take advantage of the catalyzation of downtown Fort Wayne, and we thought, how do we not take it, put ourselves into a position to be part of that? And with doing a development we're working on already with the city on a 12-story building. We created an atmosphere where we could then layer in a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. There's demand across the board for this location, so why not do something to leverage a platform we're already creating? And so at 13,600-foot Ruth's Chris that really stands out right in the heart of downtown.
Heart of downtown, the bustling business district, a lot going on there. Talk about, you've been open about a month now, maybe a little bit more. What's the reaction been?
The reception from the community has been impressive. So we've been open, this is our first full month, finishing this month in June. We opened May 7th. And again, the community has been so supportive, and from the administration to the council to everybody in the community, that's the frequency of guests we're already seeing has been tremendous. And people are looking to unlock something like this, and they just wasn't present in the community before.
So talk about Hoosier Hospitality Group. Larry Griggers, as I mentioned before, really grew that group. You and your wife transitioning into leadership now and ownership of that group, focused on the Ruth's Chris brand, the franchise of Ruth's Chris Steakhouses. 2 in Indianapolis that have done and continue to do very well. The Fort Wayne restaurant, 1 in South Bend and 2 in St. Louis. Talk about the hospitality group.
That is correct. So I've been partners with Larry for a little over 10 years. First relationship with him started in South Bend, where I'm from. My wife and I are from there. And last year, my wife and I ended up buying Larry out to transition. Something we've worked on for the last couple of years to figure out how to get there. And so we took over 5 restaurants. Then with the 6th location we put into play about a year and a half, 2 years ago, opening last month. So 6 locations give us a platform for Ruth's Chris. My wife and I are very excited about looking how we can grow that as a platform throughout the Midwest, where the opportunities present themselves, working with the franchisor now with the focus of locking down what we have now, with now 6 locations, but what does the future bring?
And your background in commercial development really kind of is a nice mix for the restaurant group.
We think it dovetails because it gets us out regionally looking for opportunities. We're from South Bend, based in South Bend, so we're from Indiana and focused on development in Indiana, but it gets us out regionally looking at other things so we can find locations where we can dovetail in Ruth's Chris. It's spectacular where you cannot otherwise find an opportunity in a market. So if we can bring the 2 together, it makes all kinds of sense. When it doesn't, then we look for where the best opportunity is in the market. We'll buy or lease as a standalone, but where we can synergize the 2, we can unlock more.
Talk about, as you look at your vision for the restaurant group and growing, focused on, again, on the Ruth's Chris franchise, where do you see growth opportunities?
We think growth opportunities inside the 4 walls and in the communities we're already in. So we've focused over the last several years on building bench strength and leadership, so we're positioned for growth with a focus on locking down what we have currently. So inside the four walls, if we can focus on hospitality, what that does is allows us to grow our top line, our bottom line, and retain a team that is able to then we can leverage going forward. So that's been our focus of really locking down the base to position ourselves for what the future may bring.
And when you look at growth, though, you look at maybe more Midwest as opposed to more in Indiana?
So we think Midwest is where we need to look. With Indiana, we're already, with being 2 in Indianapolis, 1 in Fort Wayne, and 1 in South Bend, we've hit most of the market already within a drive time that makes sense for the kind of the hospitality we can provide. So now it's a matter of what we can go from there. So but we can get out a little further. So right now we're focused on the events we do, the catering we can bring, because not everybody realizes what we can do from a catering establishment. We have big restaurants and big kitchens. So outside the four walls we're focused on, then we can get, how can we bring it to you, the same quality, the same sizzle to your location, your party, your own venue.
Hoosier Hospitality Group, Ryan Rance, thanks for joining us. Lots going on with Ruth's Chris around the state of Indiana, and in particular with the new restaurant in Fort Wayne. So thanks for joining us.
Gary, thank you so much.
All right.